the cost of increase, the inflation, the hospitals have trouble making it. Then we come along and we put mandates on these hospitals. In the South, you know, there are mandates that you take care of every single person, legal or illegal. Hospitals are going broke. It's too much government interference. We have to wean ourselves off. We can't close the system down overnight, but we ought to get people out of the system and relieve the burden. I don't believe my transitional program is that I wouldn't turn anybody out in the street. I wouldn't deny medical benefits on individuals who have become dependent, but I would not raise the spending level. I would not raise taxes. I would save it elsewhere. We need to take care of our people at home and, you know, save this money from overseas. But I think it's the tax code and these changes as encouragement, get control back to the patient, would do a lot to help the situation.
If you're elected, what would be your 3 most urgent priorities after taking office?
What are my 3 most urgent priorities after taking office? Probably the first one would be to end the war and to announce to the world that we have a different foreign policy, that move the Navy away from the shores of Iran and don't threaten them and remove the sanctions. It would change the nature of everything going on in the world. And with this effort, people would, I think, take a sigh of relief. I believe interest rates would not go up. I believe oil prices would probably drop just because there would be less likelihood that we're in a war in Iran, and that war would not be spreading. So that would be high on the priority. The second priority would be talking to the Congress to, to develop a rapport with Congress to know where I stood on these issues and what they have to do to get these bills passed. And it really is a program where I can talk to other people, just as I mentioned on medical care. It's not for closing down these programs as much as finding places to save it. I just think it's so much better to save money overseas than it is to attack our programs here at home or not give adequate care to our veterans. And then overall, the major task to take the pressure off taxes and inflation is to strive for reducing overall spending so that we can get back to not only a balanced budget, but start nibbling away at the deficit. And I think just the announcement in that direction would change the nature of things completely and totally. Diplomacy would be quite different around the world under an administration like that.
Last question.
How about, go ahead. We'll take one of the kids back there. Since they're the backbone.
How will you help bring the troops home?
Oh, how would I help bring the troops home? You know, a lot of things that I would like to do, since I'm a strict constitutionalist, and I always want, and it was mentioned in my introduction, I want to limit the power and scope of the executive branch. There's a lot of things I have to get done with the Congress. You know, some of these programs change the tax code, and I would recognize that. But the president is the commander-in-chief. So the president has the authority. There's not a declared war, and we could start bringing our troops home. See, I'm not for just bringing the troops home from Iraq, which we should. You can't do it in a day or a week or a month, but within months you could. But the announcement would be so important. But I'm not talking about bringing troops home from the Middle East. I'm talking about how long are we going to be in Korea? Yeah, they've been there since I was in high school. Vietnam, we left Vietnam. Vietnam is so much better off. We trade with them. We're friends with them. The domino theory didn't work. And they said if we ever left, it would turn all communist. We have achieved in peace with Vietnam what we couldn't achieve in war. The French and Americans fought in Vietnam all those years. A couple million Vietnamese were killed. Then we finally lost the war. We came home. Now we're following the founders' advice. We trade with them. We talk to them. The president of Vietnam comes here, and we invest over there. But I want something like that to happen in Korea. We've stayed in Korea. The North and the South actually want to come together. We won't allow it. So I want to bring the troops home from Korea, come home from Japan, come home from Europe. What are we doing? We pay our troops over there. They spend all their money over there. So just bringing them home. Why do we close our bases down here and build bases in Saudi Arabia, which motivates the radicals? Osama bin Laden was motivated by building this huge air base in Saudi Arabia. We have 14 new bases going up in Iraq, an embassy bigger than the Vatican. I, as a president, would have the ability to shift that focus and bring the troops home, save not 1 million, not 1 billion, not 100 billion, hundreds of billions of dollars. We would have a stronger national defense, and there would be a lot better chance for peace and prosperity in this country. Thank you very much.
Congressman Paul, thank you for joining us on the New Hampshire primary campaign trail, and here's a little something to keep you warm as you continue through the winter.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That concludes this morning's installment of Politics and Eggs. Have a good day.
Do you see that reflected in the polls already?
I haven't followed the polls that close, so I just do what I have to do. So the polls aren't all that revealing. I think that the national polls haven't shown me, right up at the top, but most of the people are new people and have not been called, and they're independents, not Republicans, that will be supporting me.
You're so confident you'll be inaugurated in January?
I don't talk in those terms. I just do my best, and we'll see what happens. I think it's too early to make predictions. I know a lot of people believe that's a very strong possibility.
Can you explain to people how you would change America's position in the world, the foreign policy of this country?
Just talking to people. Hello there. I'd like to be able to shake hands with these people.
Okay.
Mr. Paul, a couple quick questions for you.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Okay. Hello there. All right.
We were curious, the new WMUR poll shows you have single digits. You said that you still feel good about the campaign. Explain a little bit.
Well, how could I not feel good? When you get 57,000 people in one day send the money, 25,000 brand new people join the campaign, how could I do anything other than feel good about it? Maybe the polls aren't accurate. Maybe the fundraising and the support I'm getting is a lot more accurate measurement of the strength of the campaign.
Are you hoping then that things turn around very quickly here in these last couple weeks?
Well, I don't think there's any turning around. I think it's just continuing the momentum. I mean, I don't have to turn anything around. We started slowly, and the momentum keeps building, and there's no sign that the momentum is slowing up. So, to me, it's just to continue to do what we're doing.
Thank you very much, Dr.
You're welcome.
Here. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.
Sir, what are you going to do with all that money?
Well, my obligation is to spend it for what they sent it to, and that is to campaign with. We increased our spending in the early primaries. We have plenty. And then to be prepared for running campaigns in 20 states. We're in good position to hello there. Thank you, to run on Super Tuesday. So that's my obligation. That's what the money was sent for.
How much more of that money do you think will be spent in New Hampshire itself?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
Are you still continuing a major investment in the state?
Oh, sure. I mean, this is a key state. We're spending a lot here, and I've been here in New Hampshire more than any other state.
You know, a lot of people have said, well, you got all this money over the weekend, and it was great. It was a big boost. A lot of people are calling it a stunt, saying that it's a way to make up for the fact that it didn't come in over a larger period. Your reaction to that?
A grand stunt. Pretty interesting. If they write it off as a stunt, I would say that somebody's been misled.
Sir, what do you hope to accomplish with the TV on Sunday in Des Moines?
On
Sunday in Des Moines. I think you're on statewide.
You mean that 30-minute program?
Yes, sir.
Oh, just more spreading of the view and exposure to more people, because it's a full explanation of everything that I've been doing.
I don't mean to get ahead a little bit, but if you do not win this primary race, will you run as an independent?
I don't plan to do that. I have no intention of doing that.
Anything else on your mind?
Signing eggs.
Thank you.
Here you are.
Proud to be part of the revolution.
Hey, there you go. I'm glad you're here. Hey.
I just have a quick question for you. I know you went to the little girl at the end. I heard that you wanted to close down the FBI. Is that true? And do you think that there should...